So by far the #1 requested video that you guys have been asking for is a price breakdown on my 700 horsepower BMW E90 335. So let's get to it. So it's been a long time coming. The truth to the breakdown of the E90 is I don't even know how much it costs to build the car. And it's kind of a good idea not to look at it sometimes. But since a lot of you guys have been asking, I figured let me go ahead and do my homework, do a price breakdown, do a walk around, essentially like you're a friend and you're with me and I'm just showing you around the car. So I think we'll start with the engine bay. All right, underneath the engine, it is a stock N54. I didn't really do much to make it look good, but it's a, I guess, somewhat clean setup. Dock race manifold, V1. I am looking to get V2. Still a pretty expensive piece, but I think it's one of the better options out there. Dock race charge pipe, top blow-off valve. I think the setup sounds really, really good. I've rocked the HKS setup on the E93 that I gave away. I think they're both good. It just kind of depends what you want. HKS is louder, high pitch, and then the tire blow-off valve is just a little bit quieter. Just a little bit more subtle for those that don't want to, I don't know, make it too excessive, that sound. Right here, we have a pretty big cone intake for the turbo. I am rocking a DR700 kit from Dock Race. It's been through quite a bit of phases, to say the least, but luckily they finally figured everything out with the cast manifold and it hasn't had its issues. The earlier models had issues with cracking with the exhaust manifold, but this one's good to go. I put I think 1,000 or 2,000 miles on it. Hasn't cracked yet, 31 pounds of boost. So DR700, it's rocking a 6266 ball bearing turbo from Precision. So it's rated at 800 horsepower. The car makes, last time we checked, around 730 horsepower. Probably makes more than that, but we really haven't finalized the most recent tune with Motiv Reflex to see how much more she can go. By the way, completely stock N54. People always ask me, is it a built engine? No, it is a stock clapped out N54 because I bought the car with 133,000 miles. Maintenance wasn't taken care of. So this has to be a unicorn N54. I did forget to mention the injectors with the Dock Race manifold as well. So those are 750cc injectors, 72 pounds, whatever you guys want to go by. Of course, to make all that power possible, you need some fueling upgrades. That's where it starts getting a little bit pricier because you think the turbo kit is enough and then you realize, okay, the car needs more fuel. So fuel it stage 4 kit. I checked all the boxes, literally every box available for the stage 4 kit. I mean, return lines, fuel pressure regulator. I got dual 525 Walbro pumps, pretty much everything you need. Not really performance per se, but we do have the M3 cowl that I ended up going with. Very expensive, like more than 700 bucks, but it really cleans up the engine bay and it frees up the room right here in the center, so you don't really always have to remove that cowl to do some of the work here. VRSF Catch Can, that's just pretty much dangling for its life here. We don't have anything to mount it on right now, but that's because we are looking to do a special setup on this car with a brand new valve cover, a carbon fiber one that I've teased to you guys on Instagram. I'm very excited about that. We're to get rid of the OEM PZV system, which I think underperforms, and do an external one, block off the head ports and see how that goes after that. This is a really cool upgrade. This tends to fluctuate in price. Every time either I make a video or Swap Depot makes a video, price goes up. It's a metal coolant and expansion tank that switches it from that side over to this side, obviously because you have the turbo and all that stuff on that side, so you want to relocate it to this side. It comes with a really cool, I guess, extension here where you can essentially supposed to relocate this power steering tank here, but it didn't really work out too much for ours for this particular setup because of the front facing charge pipe. You know, with the throttle body being on that side, it just wasn't enough room, so I have to figure that out. So oil catch can, power steering, like housing, they're just kind of dangling there for now. This right here is not the factory intake scoop. This is the one from a 335D, because the factory one for the M54, it does funnel air this way. 335D, since the intake system is on this side, it funnels it this way, so we can get as much cooler as we can to the intake part right here. Underneath all this stuff, which you can't see, which is a really cool upgrade, is the CSF high performance radiator, which is a must upgrade for N54s. They fail over time, they're just not very reliable, and they can leave you stranded once they dump all the coolant from the side of the end tanks. They're made out of plastic. CSF one is the way to go. It does help lowering your intake temperatures as well, especially when you're on the car like really hard. or if you're at the track, is a very good upgrade, and I think it's almost the same price, well maybe like $100 more than the OEM one, and you get a much better robust system. So we recently installed Motiv Reflex. So obviously when you're running port injection, when I have a port injection controller, I used to use split second AIC, and then I know some people rock with JB4, but those two are really old platforms. So I decided to go with like the newest stuff on the market, Motiv Reflex Plus. Obviously I can't show you guys because it's inside of the DME box, but I am running a full flex fuel setup, so I don't have to worry about, you know, not having the right ethanol content. The DME Motiv communicates, reads the content, and then will adjust accordingly as far as like the power and stuff like that. I used to rock the Fuel It Bluetooth analyzer, and that was really cool because you can see the ethanol content through your phone, but I went away with that, and now I monitor everything through the MHD suite. Super beefy intercooler. You need to keep those intake temperatures down as much as possible, especially when you're making big power. So I have the 7.5 inch stepped race VRSF intercooler. It's a big seller on my website for a reason. It does the job very well. You do need some slight modifications to fit it behind the bumper, but not too much, and it's not something you're going to be able to see anyways, but a very good upgrade. By the way, all these products that I'm talking to you guys that I've installed on the E90, a lot of it you can get on our website. So I'm going to have a detailed list of everything installed on the E90 335 in the video's description, so make sure and check it out. If you guys need performance parts for various BMW models and even the Toyota Supra, make sure and check us out. Help support us by purchasing directly. So just a quick note, this breakdown is not going to include maintenance items or labor costs. It's mainly going to focus on aftermarket items. Also, the prices that I'm showing you all today are current prices that could change over time. The total that you'll end up seeing today is not necessarily what I paid, because one, prices for a lot of these items were less back then, and because I received a ton of help from sponsors. Talking about sponsors, I'd like to thank Omaze for sponsoring today's video. You can enter for a chance to win a legendary Buick Grand National GNX while at the same time supporting a great cause, the ACLU. This opportunity doesn't come very often. There were only 547 GNX ever made, and this one is number 51. With just 2,000 original miles, it's a straight up collectible. A quick search online and you'll find good examples going for over $150,000. If I won this car, I'd probably try to replicate that same scene from the Fast and Furious 4, which probably wouldn't be a good idea. To enter for a chance to win, make sure to visit omaze.com/vehiclevirals or just visit the link down in the video's description. Not only would you have the chance to win the car that beat Corvette, Ferrari, and Porsche in the 80s, but you'll help support the ACLU and their mission to fight to defend everyone's constitutional rights. Again, big thanks to Omaze for sponsoring today's video. I won't be able to show you the upgrades that are pretty much underneath the car. This is a 6-speed manual 335. We upgraded to a twin disc DKM organic clutch. Holds over, I don't know, 800 torque, I believe. Been rocking it for over a year, really beating on it. And we took it apart not too long ago and it still looks like it's brand new. So it's a very good clutch. I highly recommend it. All right, and then this is as much as I can show you guys of the exhaust, which they don't really come like that. These are M Performance tips that I grabbed from the F10 M5. But we have the VRSF race exhaust with a vibrant resonator. I think it's a perfect match for a single turbo setup. Very hard to recommend it for a twin turbo setup because you get quite a bit of rasp. I don't know. When I had the E93, I had it with the twins, the pure stage 2 turbos, because once I did the muffler and it was an auto car, there was a lot of drone in the highway. Some people like the loudness. I mean, there's some people that have purchased directly through me the race exhaust on a twin setup and they love how loud it is. But I think if it's your daily commuter, it gets very loud and very obnoxious. As far as the wheel setup, which is a hot point of this car, we have Titan TS7 wheels, fully forged, very light, plus 22 all the way around, so it is a square setup from an E46 M3. Yes, I made it work on a non-M3 E90. Tires are R888s. Needed to put the power down. I don't really need it for the front, but they look really good, very meaty, and they really fill up the fender wells here. 245/40/18. Very expensive tires. So if you ever, ruin them, you destroy them, Tire Rack doesn't offer coverage for track tires, so you have to buy another $500 tire, and it sucks. So R888s, Titan 7, TS7, and then we have the M Performance big brake kit upgrade, which we made work on the E90 platform. thanks to like a retrofit bracket that Seems Legit Garage offers for these cars. I guess another common question that I get is, what about the rear calipers? So yeah, I bought the entire kit from Beamer World, or I think it was directly from BMW, but we weren't able to fit the rear calipers just because you would either have to switch over to a 135 hub, which would increase the track, I guess it would add like 8 millimeters of track, which I don't think my wheels would fit after that, or you would have to do M3 knuckles, which are a pain to find used and very expensive to buy new. So I just decided to keep the stock OEM caliper on the rear and then just keep these here. Eventually we'll get to it when we have time, but that answers the question why I haven't done the rear ones. There are setups that allow you to rock the F30 caliper in the rear, but they're kind of sketchy and I don't think they're entirely safe. Rotors, these are the M3 rotors, so I believe they're 380 millimeter rotors, so very big and plenty of stopping power for a car that makes 700 horsepower. Suspension, AST 5100s, got adjustable end links through them as well, and we have, you guys can see right here, adjustable camber tops, and that allows you obviously to dial in the fitment in case you're going super wide, or I don't know, any track reason that you want to adjust that. But I've never really touched the camber. The wheels, the tire setup doesn't rub up front, so I've never had an issue with them. But if I ever decide to change the wheel setup on this car, or I decide to do any kind of track stuff and I really need to dial in the handling, you know, we have the flexibility to do that with the camber plates. So underneath the car has a major upgrade that a lot of you guys really wanted to know more about. I did a full in-depth video on that, so I'm gonna have like the playlist to all the E90 videos in the video's description. We did the Ford 8.8 rear conversion, a very beefy setup. So the kit from Seems Legit Garage includes everything that you need. You'll get like the one-piece custom drive shaft. You'll get the obviously the 8.8 LSD. You can customize the ratio however you want. They open it up, pretty much remanufacture it and install a carbon clutch, which makes the ride a little bit aggressive. But if you want to put power down, if you want to take it to the drag strip, that's the way to go. It's pretty much unbreakable. And then you also get G-force axles, which come with a lifetime warranty. They're supposed to be unbreakable, and the whole setup is supposed to like hold up to like 1300 horsepower or something like that. So it's pretty insane. God damn it. While we were doing the Ford 8.8 upgrade, we also did the arms in the back. So tow arms, control arms, did custom adjustable end links as well because I couldn't get the axles to clear with the sway bars. So we did a whole bunch of stuff there. The rear subframe, poly bushings, not the super aggressive ones, the blue ones, which are pretty soft. And then as far as the diff bushing, they included the Seems Legit Garage metal ones, which makes the ride kind of harsh if you're daily driving the car, and you can hear it. First, second gear, taking off, you can definitely hear a whine sound. Some people like it, some people don't. I tend to live with it. I try to get poly bushings installed, but the guys at Seems Legit Garage wouldn't recommend it because they said it would create too much slop. So metal, solid bushing for the diff, and then the rest are poly bushings. All right, let's talk about some of the aesthetics for the car. There's not really much because I wanted to keep this car OEM plus, as OEM as possible, so it kind of looks like a sleeper. All right, so the front, this is the most expensive exterior aesthetic modification that I have, custom headlights. So they started off as OEM headlights, sent them over to Bayoptiks. They customized it to my liking, checked every box off. Got a carbon fiber brow, got the light strip right here. You got the DTM style rings, etched lens, new HID bulbs, black dial housing, quad demonized. I think I'll show you guys an example, show you guys a little bit of what it looks like when it's on. It looks so good and it's a huge attention getter. A lot of people always ask me about the headlights. With this one, if you can afford it, I think it's a very good deal. This one also has a layer of PPF to protect it so it can look really, really good. We did freshen it up with a fresh set of lens. But yeah, overall, love the look of the headlight. I don't think the headlights look like too crazy. I think they're just a notch over OEM plus until you turn them on and then you start messing with the colors, and it can look a little bit ricey according to some people, but I think it looks really nice and it's a very cool touch for like a car show or something like that. You got these side markers I bought a long time ago for the E93, never installed them on it on that car, and finally got to install it on the E90. They weren't very expensive, but I don't even think they make them anymore. It's like a V shape, you know, for vehicle barrels. I thought it was kind of quirky at first because of that V, but it doesn't look too bad. Let me show you guys. It's not too bad. When I first bought them, I thought they were but I ended up liking them, especially like alongside the Le Mans blue. I think it's a very nice touch. Carbon fiber mirror caps or overlays. I originally bought them thinking they were gonna replace the OEM caps, you know, unclip them, clip these on, and they ended up being overlays. And I told myself I would replace them. I've been too lazy to do so. The fitment, if you want to look closely here, you can see a little bit of blue and stuff like that. I guess the only thing I don't really like about these is that since they overlay, it makes the mirror look a little bit bulky and it's not flush with the black part of the mirror. But other than that, I think they're a pretty good deal. I did get them ceramic coated, so they haven't faded and the carbon is held up pretty good. And then we have carbon fiber trunk spoiler from ECS Tuning. This one also got ceramic coated. I think that's why the carbon pieces in my car have lasted. Normally, like, affordable carbon pieces don't last very long. There's no distortion, there's no peeling, and the fitment is pretty spot on. It looks pretty much identical to the N Performance one. So very happy with how well this product has held up over like the last year or so. Down here we have BWE Custom, I believe it's the V3 carbon fiber diffuser. A very, very nice touch for the E90 cars. I think fitment could be slightly better. It was actually a little bit off when I first got it, but we did some shaving on the inside to make it fit better. So with a little bit of patience, you can probably get it to fit really, really well. It's just that some of the tabs are too fat to fit. Overall, pretty happy. It's held up pretty well. I never ceramic coated this one, and it's held up very, very well. So happy with this product right here. And Ali gave me this, and I don't even know where it came from. Is that BWE Customs too?
Yes.
Okay, so there you go. So carbon fiber license plate border from BWE Customs.
Yeah, because license plates look disgusting on the corners.
Yeah, you're right. Always. So moving on to the interior of the E90. Recently changed out the wood trim for the aluminum ones that I got from Ali. Temporary setup because I want to go with either carbon fiber or Alcantara, but hard to find a local place that can do Alcantara trims. We did the M Performance shift boot, Alcantara, the M Performance shift knob, which a lot of people tend to hate, but it's actually very good. Has a nice weight to it. It's really, really cool. Steering wheel is another upgrade that I got. It looks very similar to an M Performance one. Alcantara, flat bottom. You get the stripe on top. But see, M Performance doesn't offer it with the orange in it, which is the theme of the car, with, you know, like the calipers and stuff like that. So Azaautowheel was a company that went ahead and made it for me. I've used their steering wheel for the E93. I have one of their steering wheels on the F30. And on one on the E46 as well. So they pretty much make whatever steering wheel you want, you name it, whatever stripe you want, painted stripe, leather stripe. I mean, they do it all, not only for BMW cars, for pretty much for any car manufacturer out there. I've seen this weird chopped up steering wheel that they make as well that I don't see being practical at all when you drive, because like, what are you holding on to when you're turning the wheel, right? It's
your hopes and dreams.
To tune the car, I talked briefly about it earlier, MHD. Obviously, I have a custom tune from David Shoup, but I use MHD to run that tune to pretty much read all the parameters and do data logs and stuff like that. It's a wireless adapter, which we also sell on the website for E, F, and G chassis cars. So very nice, no wire in the way, so it's not very complicated, and you connect with an application on your phone, controls everything wirelessly. Other than that, it's pretty stock in here. But if you move on to the infotainment display, let me go ahead and turn it on for you guys. From a company called Extrons. I've used their units on all my other models before, and it's a very, very good unit. I can say now that I've had it installed for over a year. It's very good. Apple CarPlay wirelessly. They have Android Auto. You got Bluetooth. I mean, you can watch video. You can do everything with the system. When you're tuning the car and you're looking to do logs and stuff, you can run MHD on there, which is really cool. And then a very popular item that I have is the ID4 Motion Digital Cluster, which is probably one of my favorite mods of the E90. This really changes the driving experience and makes you not want to stop driving the car because it looks so cool. It's very customizable. There's over 30 different skins that you can choose from, different colors. There's a race theme. It's very, very fluid, very responsive. Obviously, I have more videos on that cluster, and if you guys are interested in seeing that, I'll have it linked below as well. Don't do that.
Sick. That's a new mod.
I know. So much money spent into this car.
You got Swiss cheese on top of it.
And I haven't done the headliner on this car. I know. I should be ashamed of myself. Hopefully, looking to take care of it very, very soon. I'm sure there are some small parts that I'm missing, but they wouldn't bring the price up that much. That said, the grand total for my 700 horsepower BMW 335 is $36,435 with 80 cents. Add the value of my car, in my case I paid $10,000, and all in we are at $46,435 with 80 cents. Yikes. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below, and make sure to like the video if you enjoyed it. As always, thanks for watching. Till next time.